everybody, welcome to another video. We start this one off with me answering a question. I get asked quite a few times of what sat-nav I use. Well, I use Waze when I'm in town and I always have it running in the background. I generally use Google Maps to get me around because I work in the suburbs and I generally don't need all the shortcuts that Waze gives you, but in town I would always use it. But I always have it on in the background, as I say, and I'm going to show you a couple of clips here which has benefited me from having Waze on. Even though I know where I'm going, I always have it on in the background.
Watch out, vehicle on shoulder ahead.
Now obviously there isn't a hard shoulder on this road, so it must mean the inside lane. So I'm going to pull out into the middle lane here. Now this van here could either do with a Red Bull or using Waze, because it can't see the hazards on that car in front. It also cannot see that there's no one inside that car neither. So let's have a recap. The car's pulled up there. There's no one inside the car. It's got its hazard lights on, and yet that van cannot see any of that. It can't even see that I'm about to pull in front of the car as well. Surely that would show alarm bells. That would sort of like, how the hell did he get in there? Why has that car left that gap in front of it? No, it didn't see any of that. And now there's a build up of traffic behind the van because obviously they cannot see the indicators going. They can't see the hazard lights going. Now you're seeing in the distance that the van eventually gets it and then moves out into the middle lane to go round it. There you go. Well done. Another reason why I have Waze on in the background is this.
Police reported ahead.
Now in my experience, police reported ahead is probably about a 50-50 chance of them being down here. But because I know this road like the back of my hand, I know they're down here because this road goes from a 40 mile an hour to a 30 mile an hour speed limit. And if you're not concentrating, if you haven't seen the sign, you will still be doing 40 here where it is a 30. And it's easy money for these boys for doing that. So I'm going to show you this from the rear camera now. We've just gone past the police van there and we're looking at this car behind us. Now you can say it's a nice thing to do this. It flashes the car that's coming towards it. The car towards him hits the brake straight away, as you saw. But you can get a fine for doing that. You're not allowed to do that officially. Sometimes police put unmarked cars coming the opposite direction to catch people flashing, and you get a fine for that. So be very careful trying to warn others.
Watch out, roadworks reported on the road ahead.
So obviously Waze lets you know that there's roadworks up ahead. Unfortunately this road is a little bit, once you're on it, you're on it. You've got to bite the bullet and you've got to go through the roadworks. But I bet none of you will guess what the roadworks are. Unless you've been down this road on this particular day, you will never ever guess what these roadworks are all about. Our resources are that bad that we've got to put temporary lights up, a couple of blokes fitting it up and all that sort of stuff for an Audi. The roadworks are there for an Audi that's obviously broken down, been nicked or whatever, but our resources are that bad that we can't pick that up and put it somewhere. We've got to hire someone to put temporary lights out and all these barriers down here for a parked Audi. Unbelievable. Always an Audi. Now you've just heard me have a little bit of a moan up about our resources. Now is it our resources or are they just badly managed? I think it's probably a bit of both, but this one is badly managed resources. This clip coming up in a second, we're just going to go round this roundabout and head towards that good old M25 again. But it's before we get to there, I've got real issues with this one. Misuse of our resources is not right. Now we all keep talking about not enough police on our streets. You saw the police sign there. Up there, they've shut down the inside lane. There's a police officer there in a police car. But why has he shut the road down? Why has he shut that lane down? This is a first for me. I've never seen this before. So these two Herberts here can actually do some filling of potholes. Now, look at that joker there. He's thrown a bag of tarmac on the ground and he's going to jump up and down on it. What fucking good is that going to do? You've got to cut out everything that he's jumping on. That tarmac is not going to stick to broken tarmac. You've got to cut it all out and chuck it all away and fill up the hole properly. What he's doing there is absolutely pointless. It's just going to end up in the treads of all our cars. A joke, absolute joke. And whatever fucking idiot sent these two clowns out to do this needs a slap in the face with a packet of wet shit. It's totally out of order what they're doing. And to send a policeman out to block the road, that geezer needs sacking as well. So on to the next clip. I'm doing the editing for this video, by the way, on the 19th of March. Now I'm trying to have a dry month. I don't know why, I just thought I'll just try and have a dry month. So it's 19 days since I've had an alcoholic drink. And going by the last clip, I'm not going to make it to the end of the month, am I? We'll just have to see, I guess. Anyway, let's get on to the next clip. As in a previous clip on this video, there was a car that flashed a car coming towards it to warn it that there was a police van. I get the same flash there. At the time, I didn't know what it was all about. Why was that guy flashing? That's why. And obviously, over there on the right-hand side, you can see the police van. Now, the point of just showing you this police van is I'm going to be coming back the other way in a second. And obviously, I know that the police van is there. This car behind me doesn't know that. And it is a little bit close to me. It's not majorly close, but it is too close at 30 miles an hour. And now we're just going to be turning left into that road where the police van is. Watch the effect it has when this car sees that police van. You'll know straight away when it sees it, because it is still too close to me, really. And as we go past all these bushes and everything, it'll be able to see the van. Look at the gap grow. Isn't it funny? Look at the gap grow. Now, we all say about police being on our streets, there ain't enough of them. But look, they only have to park up, and look at the effect it has on some people. I think that's quite amazing. Look at the size of that gap now, that braking distance it's left itself now. Look at that. That's amazing. Now in this clip, we come to a car that seems to think driving down the centre of the road is what you're supposed to do. Fucking get over. Can't drive a big car? Don't fucking buy one. Epsom Hospital to our left hand side. Now if you have an appointment at Epsom Hospital, make sure you leave early, because it's always like this. The car park comes out here all the time, and beyond it goes into the high street. That there where that car's just turned in is the wrong side of the road that it's driven down there. You can tell by the giveaway lines and the triangle thing there. It's, you know, people do stupid things when there's heavy traffic. See, there's the Mini coming out. Yeah, so if you've got an appointment here, leave early, because it's always like, well, not always, but it's regular. But I was a little bit surprised at the ambulance doing the same thing. Can you imagine an ambulance driving down the wrong side of the road in a hospital, hitting something or someone? That's not good. Really not good. Now this is me driving the opposite direction to where that ambulance and the other car come down the wrong side of the road. Imagine getting to here and seeing an ambulance coming towards you. That really wouldn't be very good. As you can see, it's still chock-a-block. No one's going anywhere. In actual fact, it's getting even worse. So I don't know what they do in that hospital car park, but it's not working. So we're coming out and we're going to Leatherhead. And on the way, I see this car. I'm not sure whether it's parked, broken down or what. We talk about hatch markings, but can you park on them? Really? You're just leaving your car there? In this clip, there's a crossing here. It's too far for her to walk to get on it though. So we're back in Epsom for this one. We've got a Fiat 500 and an Audi in front of us. That's never a good thing, because you know that one or both are not going to indicate. It must be the 15 levers, 4 switches and a foot pump that they have to use to actually get the indicator to work. It cannot be just a normal switch like the rest of us, otherwise they would use it a bit more often, wouldn't they? Some people must be absolutely loaded or thick as shit, one or the other. I'm turning right across a yellow box junction, which I'm allowed to do, and I'm about to clear the yellow box junction anyway. But what about the car behind me? Surely it must have been able to see that. But no, drive straight into it. I don't know what the fines are now for this, but if there's a camera on there, you've just lost about 60 to 80 quid maybe. I don't know, the fines seem to change just as much as what the speed limits do in London at the moment. Now, wouldn't be one of my videos without being on the good old M25. And the same question applies to the last clip. Why risk getting a fine when you really just don't need to? We're coming up to a slip road. Obviously a slip road has just come on, but it literally goes straight to a slip road off. Now you just saw that van come on and it goes over the solid lines. Now that's a fine and points on your licence. And now look at the car in front of us. Why? When you could just do what I'm doing and risk no points and no fine. Now I want the slip road, obviously, otherwise I wouldn't have got in this lane. But what about these two? So what's your money on? They both want the slip road or they both don't? Or just one of them wants the slip road and the other one doesn't? Please gamble responsibly. I think that's what I'm supposed to say anyway. So here we are. It's just the one. So this guy has risked getting a fine and points on his licence by going over the solid line to queue jump a few mothers. Was it really worth it? It's moving anyway. The M25 is actually moving quite well for the M25. And finally we come to a mini roundabout where it is priority to traffic approaching from the left. Well, you would think so, the way that mini just went through. I think the white car actually waited for it because it knew that that mini was not stopping. Anyway guys, that's it for today. Thanks a lot for watching. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now.